Welcome to another Ask a House Cleaner rabbit hole episode. You guys voted and said you love this kind of show. This is a show where instead of asking a house cleaning question and dedicating a whole show to it, we're going to answer your questions rapid fire. So we're going to cover lots of questions, however weird or odd they may be. All right, if you have a question, go to askahousecleaner.com. Right there in the bottom corner, there's a blue button. When you click on that, a microphone appears and you can send it to me here at the show. I'm Angela Brown and I am your host. All right, so today somebody clicked on that button and they asked this question.
Hi, Angela. My name is Cassie. I'm 18 years old. I recently parted away from a small cleaning service in my hometown. I now work at Holiday Inn Express as a housekeeper. I really enjoy cleaning and seeing the clients happy. So I decided to take a shot and open my own cleaning business. I do have cards made under KP Cleaners. I was just wondering, how should I go about distributing my cards? Where are some good places to put them? If cards are even a good idea? And do you think it's going to be difficult for me to find jobs since I am such a young age?
All right, let's answer the business card question first and then the one about the age. So should you have a business card? The answer is yes. I recommend that you carry them everywhere you go, And then when you are in the area in which you work, I would leave them strategically everywhere you can. So for example, if you're working in a neighborhood where the homes are $200,000 to $300,000, if they have a paper box and you're able to leave it inside the paper box, I recommend that you do. If you have a job, I recommend that you leave one on the door of each of the houses next to the house you're cleaning and the ones across the street. At every single time you clean, leave them on the houses next to where you're cleaning because they have reference. They have immediate reference. They saw your car out in front of the house. And then also they have a chance they can ask that neighbor, I saw that Cassie was over at your house cleaning. Tell me, how did she do? And they can get a recommendation from your customers. My suggestion is give at least one business card away a day. It's a challenge that if you do for the next 30 years of your business, it will serve you very, very well because people will hang on to the cards. So you can use them as flyers, leave them in people's homes. You can leave them on people's porches. You can leave them underneath the mat there, just poking out of the mat underneath their front steps. When they come up, they're going to go, whoa, there's something on my porch. Oh, look, it's a house cleaner that's in the area. There are lots of different ways to use your business card, but I've used them for years and I recommend them. The secret is to carry them with you everywhere you go because you never know when you're going to be getting out of your car to clean a house and a neighbor will drive up and say, hey, you clean houses? How do I get in touch with you? And you go, oh, here's my card, right? So give one away a day and that will serve you very well. All right, now for the age. Are you too young? The answer is no, you're not too young. You're super perfect for this job. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to sell whatever age you are. So for example, if you are 18 years old, which is awesome, you're going to sell that fact. You're going to say, hey, I'm young. I've got all this energy. I can power through the job and I can do, these big projects in your home. People are going to go, oh, that's super awesome. If you are on the other side and you are older, you're going to sell that as well. You're going to say, I've been around the block a few times. I've learned how to maximize my energy and my efficiency. I'm wise about the choices I make and I'm able to prioritize. So you're going to sell whatever age you are as your specialty so that it's not a surprise and people are not like, wow, there's Cassie and she's too young to be cleaning my house. If you are there cleaning their house, they're going to be super happy that you're there. Age doesn't matter. So don't let it bother you. It's not going to bother your customers. If you look really, really, really young, they might have an initial, surprise. They'll get over it really quickly when they see the quality of your work. So provide great value and don't let it bother you. It probably won't bother anyone else.
Hey, Angela. So I have a client. This is my second time with this client. One of my staff went to clean for him today. When I dropped her off, we went in, we did the walkthrough, finding out exactly what he needed and so forth. Now she's trying to clean. She's cleaning the living room and the kitchen. He's there. So we're asking him, are you sure it's going to be okay for us to clean without you having all this noise? He's like, it's fine. Now she's cleaning and she's in the bedroom. He's in the bed. She's bumping into him. She has to be saying, I'm sorry. She's making noise. He looks bothered. She's dusting and cleaning and he's brushing away the dust and he's in his bed. He didn't get up and go outside. Nothing. I don't understand. Now at the end, he had an issue where he couldn't find his keys. So we're all over the house looking for the keys. And guess he found the keys in the bed where he was laying down. So the bed never got cleaned. And he made us have to drive behind of him to go to the ATM to get money for our payment when he knew that we were coming. I was upset, but I calmed myself down and I asked him, are you going to apologize to my staff for being so mean to her? He's like, yeah, I'm sorry. And he just walked off. Now I'm saying to myself, I don't want anybody or as a client that is going to treat my staff like this.
So if you go to a customer's house, there are a couple of expectations that need to be set up front. And right now we have a whole bunch of people that are still at home because they're not going out anymore and going to regular jobs. Many of them have figured out now that they can work from home. And so there are a lot of people that are at home and some of them are still sleeping in as the house cleaners come. There are a couple of expectations we have to create right up front so there are no surprises and we're not tripping over the clients in their bed. So the first thing is, if the client is in a room, when you go in to do that room, you give them a notice, and it's usually about 10 to 15 minutes. So you say, hey, I'm wrapping up in this room. I'm going to be in that room next. I just want to give you a heads up in case there's something you want to grab before you go into another room. And I like to suggest that they're going into another room, because if I go into that room to clean the room and I would just jump in and say, hey, I'm ready to clean this room now. Are you, is now a good time? And if they say yes and they don't move, we don't clean a room if somebody's in it. It's just, again, that 6-foot distance rule that we're still honoring from the COVID era. And so if somebody is in the room, we're not going to clean the room if they're in it. We're going to let them go to another room of the house. And if they don't go to another room of the house, we are going to skip that room. So from here on out, if the guy doesn't get out of the bed, then you say, oh, we'll be skipping this room today. Just heads up so that there are no surprises. Because we don't want to be tripping over them. We don't want dust to be falling in their face while they're in the bed. And then, of course, we don't want any weird things happening and weird accusations or people that are naked in the bed or any of those things. Weird things can happen, and we just don't want to chance that with our employees. So if a customer is in a room and they refuse to leave, we're going to skip that room, and that needs to be understood and explained up front. The customer that doesn't have the money when you arrive, that's also an issue. I would like to make sure we get that customer on a credit card payment so that you can just charge the credit card when you're done. Now, I need to also mention that this particular situation sounds like there might be some slight cognitive slipping. And that's where our customers get of a certain age and they may have slight traces of dementia or Alzheimer's, and they know people are coming, but then they forgot to get the money, or they're not sure what they're supposed to do next. And so they don't want to get in the way. And so then they just stay in the bed and they're kind of like waiting for somebody to tell them what to do next, right? So there are pieces that are missing, and it's not that they're crazy or whatever. It's just that maybe they need some guidance. And so if you get to the house and they don't have the money for you, I would talk to them or a family member, and I would make sure we get them on a credit card payment immediately so that you don't have this issue, because you have liability issues. Once the customer gets in the car and you're following them to the bank and you're now off the property, again, it gets out of your control, right? We want to control the situations 100% of the time by knowing where our employees are at all times, that they're not following customers to the bank for money and all that stuff. That starts getting weird. So I do understand that there was an issue. My suggestion is that we clarify up front the way our business runs, and that's how we get payments and how we work around customers who are still at home.
I'm an individual that cleans a business once a week. Can they get audited because they pay an individual and I'm not licensed? Do I need my license?
All right, so a business can get audited at any time for any reason. But what is going to trigger the audit is if they report on their taxes that they're paying an independent contractor to come clean, and then you do not report it on your taxes, okay? That is what will trigger the audit. And so depending on where you're set up and how you're set up, you will need either an EIN number or a social security number. You'll want to list that with the government, and you will want to pay your taxes. You'll also want to make sure, if you are an independent contractor, that with the particular company that you're cleaning for, that you have a 1099 on file with them. They're going to give you a 1099 at the end of the year. And so you want to make sure that that is on file with them so they can properly list the money that they've paid you, and then it matches what you've earned from them. And you want to make sure before you turn it in that the numbers match. Okay, the next thing is, as far as needing a business license, it really depends on the jurisdiction that you live in. Every city, state, town is different. And I will leave links in the show notes to where you can look it up online and say, hey, this is where I live. Do I need a business license? Because some areas say, yes, you do. Some areas say, not that important. But it is important if you're going to go to the bank, for example, and you're going to open a business bank account. You're going to want to see a business license, or that you have registered your business, like as an LLC or something, and made it official so that they can open then a business bank account in your business name. So there are different reasons to have a business license. But then also when you register with the city or the jurisdiction in which you live, you'll also be able to pay your taxes there, which will be an itemized list every year of your assets and then probably property taxes on that. So that's kind of how that works. All right, that's it for today. If you have questions or comments, you can leave those in the links below. If you found this helpful, give us a thumbs up. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.